Hello, I'm Murphy Robinson with Mountain Song Expeditions, and I'm going to demonstrate how to clean a rifle. I don't usually recommend that you clean a rifle in the middle of a snowstorm, but it's hunting season and I've only got about 3 hours till evening time, so this is when I need to do it. I'm going to be cleaning a Savage Axis 308, which is the rifle that I tend to recommend to new hunters on a budget. And the first thing I'm going to need to do to clean this rifle is take out the bolt. Whenever possible, you want to clean the rifle from the back, not from the tip. You can easily kind of damage the end there by cleaning it from the tip. If you have a rifle that's really hard to get in the back, you can do that, but you got to be really careful. So on this one, we can remove the bolt. There's 3 steps to that. First, I need to take the safety off. I know this gun is empty, but I'm going to check anyway. Yep, chamber's empty, magazine has been removed, no risk this gun could go off. So now that the safety is off and the bolt is back, I'm going to pull the trigger while pressing this little lever on the side, and that's going to release the bolt. And I'll put that aside where I won't lose it. Now I'm going to clean with just a really simple gun cleaning kit. This cost $11 at a store. Don't spend more money than that on a gun cleaning kit unless it brings you joy to do so. I'm going to put together the cleaning rod that's going to go down the bore. So with these inexpensive kits, the rod usually comes in 3 pieces, which works just fine. A 1-piece rod is nice, but it's annoying to carry around. So there, my rod is together in its 3 pieces, and I'm going to start with a copper bristle brush. There's a bunch of different sizes available here in this kit. I'm going to take the size that is for a 30 gauge gun, which it says, a 30 caliber gun, which it says right on the base, it says 30. So this is just to loosen up any crud in there. I was sighting this gun in and shooting it a whole bunch, so I'm just going to run this down once or twice. If I've only shot the gun once or twice, I might not even bother with the copper bristle brush. And that's what it looks like. So I'm going to come all the way back in here through the chamber and push that through the bore of the rifle until it comes out the other side. And I can see a little poof of dust coming out the other side. I'll do that one more time. Alright, that should be plenty to just loosen up any stubborn crud in there. It's kind of like cleaning the chimney on your wood stove. Just got to get it loose. So I'm taking off this copper bristle brush, putting that back, and then I'm going to put in just a little loop attachment that's going to hold my patch. So this has got a little eye in it, like the eye of the needle. It's plastic, so it'll be really soft on the inside of the barrel of my rifle. Alright, that's screwed on there. Now I'm going to take a cotton patch, and it's good to buy these new. They're cut to size for particular calibers, and they're totally clean from the factory. So here's a cotton patch. I'm going to thread that into the eye at the end of my rod, and then I'm going to put a solvent on it. This is just a gun cleaning solvent. I'm going to spray it on there, and this patch is going to introduce that solvent all the way down the bore of my gun. So I'm going to push that all the way through, and you can see it's coming out really gray there. Some people will take out the patch at this point and don't ever want to run it back through, but I'm not that picky. So I'm going to run it through a couple of times, just to mop up all that gunpowder and residue there from the rounds I've sent through here. So you can see the color there is very gray. That's the gunpowder that was in there. I'm gonna run through another patch with solvent on it, And you're gonna do as many of these as you need to do until they come out clean. Now they're gonna come out wet either way. So there may be a slightly grayish hue just from being wet, but you don't want them to come out with that gray gunpowder color on them. So running that through again. And you know what? I don't know what's in that solvent, but I'm gonna wash my hands well afterwards, because you probably don't want that on your fingers when you're eating and stuff like that. Alright, this is definitely coming out a little lighter in color than the last one. You can see it's a little bit less gray, but still has some residue on it. I'm going to come through and do another one with the solvent on it. If you're cleaning a smaller caliber gun, such as a 22, this whole patch won't fit in there, and you'll have to cut a smaller patch and use a smaller attachment. All right, sending through a third time. All right, this one's looking much cleaner. I think using that copper bristle brush really helps. All right, you can see this one is only the faintest color gray, kind of the gray of just being wet. So after this one, I'm going to send through just a clean patch with nothing on it to mop up any extra residue or any extra solvent that's in there, kind of dry it out a little bit. Yeah, that's looking good. And then I need to oil my bore. So I'm gonna thread in another clean patch. And I'm gonna take some oil. This is a product made by Remington, just called Rem Oil. I don't necessarily endorse any particular product, but this one works fine. And get that on there. And then this is just a clear oil. You don't want to use any kind of like heavy or colored oil in your gun. And then I'm going to run this up and down the bore a few times, and the oil is going to protect it, keep moisture out if you're taking it into a humid environment. This will really help moisture from accumulating in the barrel. Nice. And this is still kind of sopping wet with oil, so I'm going to use it to just go around on the external parts of my gun and oil them a little bit. Get the very tip there. And I just run it over the bolt too. Didn't clean this out with solvent, but it's looking all right. Okay, and then I'm gonna finish with one final dry patch, because you don't want excess oil in there. You want enough oil, but you don't want gobs and gobs of it, because they can kind of sit around and congeal and can form weird residue. So for the final thing, we just want it to be lightly oiled with the dry patch that runs through, coming out nice and snowy white. There we go. It's got a little bit of gray on it from being wet from the oil, but it's snowy white. And that's what you want it to look like. So I'm going to put my bolt back in, making sure to have the bolt part on the correct side, which in this case is the right side. I'm going to pull my trigger back and press this little button to get it to go in. And put my gun back on safe. Alright, that's how you clean your gun. And if you're going out in something like this, I would recommend a little trick is that you can put a piece of electrical tape, that like plain black electrical tape you get at the hardware store. You can put that over the tip of your gun to block off any moisture from getting down there into the bore. And then when it comes time to shoot, you can just shoot right through that. It won't affect the flight of the bullet at all. Totally fine. And that way you just won't get like rain or snow dropping down in there or any kind of debris at all while you're hunting. And of course, I'm going to bring this gun inside and put it by the wood stove, open up the action, and let it dry out really, really well by a warm, dry heat source every night, so that I don't like get my firing pin freezing and it's really cold out or anything like that. All right, that's cleaning your gun. Happy hunting.